so excited I can't even get my words out.
You cannot hide it.
Hello everybody, I'm Payne here at Madam Quad. Welcome to today's MQ How-To. I am going to show you how to make your own pair of skates using some raggedy old shoes. They're not too raggedy though. And the new Chaya Sneekrskate plate that comes with a full setup. So just a bit of a disclaimer, this is actually my first time using the Sneekrskate plate to make a pair of skates. So I'm super excited. Let's do a little bit of an unboxing and then I'm gonna give you some expert tips on what exactly you should use, what tools, what drill bit, and all of those things. If you stay tuned until the end of the episode, I will tell you what shoes make the best DIY skates and why we want to be skating in DIY skates. All right, let the unboxing begin. Whoa! All right, so just a quick background information about the Sneekrskates. They come in two different types or two different styles. So we have this normal one, the SLV, I think it's called. Let me just take one of them out. So this is the silver with the green wheels, as you can see. So this whole setup comes exactly like this out of the box, and it also comes with all of the hardware that you would need to secure your shoe onto the plate, all right? So this is how it looks. It comes with the green wheel. This is an 80A wheel, which is really, really great for outside use. Super soft, so it's going to be absorbing a lot of the bumps and stuff out there. And then as we can see with this little white toe stop. So this toe stop looks like it's a little bit different than the standard toe stops that we stock. But I will be able to give you some more information on that if you come into the shop or if you have any questions about it. You can also comment below and I will get back to you back to your questions, of course. All right, so this is the one. Let me quickly look at the hardware in here. So it's quite interesting, this hardware, and the reason I'm so excited about building this skate with the Sneekrskates today is because it uses different hardware than all the other plates that we use. I'm just going to build this one skate today because it's a bit of an involved process. And we basically just need to see how the one is built and then we can just follow the exact same process for the other skate or for the other shoe. Okay, here is our hardware. Noisy. More noise. All right, I'm gonna pop that here. This is just some junk. Popping this here. Okay, let's quickly look at this. So this is gonna be amazing for our skate. So usually what we have to do with the DIY skates is we actually have to put aluminium or aluminum, depending on where you're from, insole inside to make sure that it doesn't pull through the shoe sole. So this, it solves the whole problem because doing this, it's gonna take a lot less pressure off of the single bolts and just make sure that it's totally secure. So we're gonna have a few different ones here. So just right off the bat, I can see that they need to be fitted to certain holes. So this one is probably going to be the two front ones. And then the back one, it's a little bit too wide. I don't know if you can see, but I'll probably need to see which ones go where. I'm going to line it up to make it a bit easier for myself. Here we go. All right. So they definitely go from a big to small list. So that's very simple to figure out. I mean, I just did it, so cool. All right, so I'm gonna be building our right skate here. The reason I wanna use this brand of shoe is because as you can see, it's super bendy, this sole. And the whole idea behind this Sneekrskate plate is that it's supposed to be supportive for your shoe. Doesn't matter what kind of sole you have. So this will be a very good judge of if it works or not. So I'm using the Makita drill. It obviously doesn't matter what type of drill you have. It does matter, however, what drill bit you have. So through trial and error, a lot of trials, not so many errors, we have figured out that the size 6 drill bit would be the best. So I'm not sure how this translates internationally, like whatever, but in Hong Kong you need a size 6 drill bit. I think it should be pretty standard for most drill bits around the world. And to protect my shoe, to make sure that as I'm drilling my holes, I don't go through my shoe, I'm going to just use a random piece of cardboard that was lying around. And I'm going to kind of double it up to make as much protection as I can. And then I'm just going to pop that in there in the toe first. So I might even want to double it up more to make sure that there's more protection against drilling through the shoe. One important step that I missed was actually making sure you know where your holes are supposed to go. So I like to use either like a black pen or a black permanent marker or some Tipex. Whiteout, I guess is the other name for it in the world, to mark down where it should go. We also want to make sure the skate is centered and aligned, and it seems like this plate makes it so much easier than the traditional plates that isn't the sneaker skate, because there you need to like go between your second and your third toe and make sure that it's aligned and all those things. This one seems pretty simple. So let me just see lining it up. I want to make sure it's exactly in the middle of the heel. Oh my goodness, the shoe even shows me where the middle of the heel is. Isn't that amazing? So I'm going to line it up there. And I'm going to line it up in the front. Right. Okay, I have my marking tool. It's just this little marker. It's a marking tool. So let's go. So my plate is lined up. I'm gonna put some pressure on it to make sure that it's actually where it's supposed to be. Just going into the holes, making sure that my marks are nice. I'll show you guys after. It would be a good idea to remove your trucks, which I'm going to do now because I cannot get to my holes. Let's see if I can do this by hand. Yes, but easier at some point. And then... there it is. All right, it's falling down. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so I already marked down my different spots here of where I want to put my holes. And inside, I put a little bit of cardboard just to make sure that I'm not drilling through my shoe, remember? So that's why it's going in there. Now the fun part, the drilling. Usually I like to kind of prop up my shoe from the table, but the chances of me drilling through the table, if I do that, then I'm also going to be drilling through my shoe, and I really want to stop that. So we are going to go at a pressure until we feel that we're hitting that cardboard on the inside, okay? So it takes a little bit of... right. It takes... just testing my drill, which way it's going. It takes a little bit of practice to really see when you're hitting that cardboard. I suspect it's pretty much the same as when a doctor is drilling into someone's skull and he has to stop before he hits the brain. Let's start. All right. So we just want to get some leverage here. Make sure your hand isn't too close because ouchie, ouchie. So you just want to grip the shoe in a nice spot and then push down nicely, nice and steady. Ah, there I go. I think I already... So what I like to do is I like to put the drill in and then without changing direction, just kind of give it a bit of a up and down motion to make sure that your hole is actually nice and big. All right, down, right, one, two, down, more. All right, pop that down. Yeah, my holes are looking good. All right, now, so for this shoe, I just quickly want to give you guys an update on my shoe. I could not remove my insole. So some shoes do that depending on the quality. I mean, to be honest, this isn't the highest quality of shoes, so, you know, whatever. So that's why I couldn't remove the insole. I'm sure I could have, but then I might have damaged the actual sole of the shoe. So what I'm going to do, because it's a little bit big anyway, we're just going to pop an extra insole on top of all of the... you know, all of these little things and all this stuff, all the, what's the word? I can't remember the word now. But for this one, these ones, so they don't dig into our holes. So I think these holes were okay. I might also want to just start, like, drill a little bit from the top to make sure that it goes through the material. I'm protecting my table with my cardboard. Oh no, they definitely went through. So it's just going to be a little bit of pressure for me to make sure that they go through the material. And now for my back. Okay, I'm just going to put it like that. And then same thing, we want to put some nice pressure on here. Again. Yes, and one more. All right, there we go. All right. see if this is really as easy as I hope. Let's put our hardware into the shoe first, and then we're gonna pop the plate right on top of that. So I'm just loosening up my little nuts here. Whoopsie, they go all over this place, the nuts. All right, and I'm gonna go into my first hole. So this is where it gets tricky. If your shoe cannot open all the way like this, your hand might be a little bit crampy trying to get these things in. But if you just persevere, you're gonna get there, I promise, I promise. Okay, so I'm gonna start with these ones first. You can't really see what I'm doing, but just trust me. Trying to get it in the hole. Let's see. Ah, yes! Success! All right. So pushing it from the inside through. There we go. Okay, so I got my first one in. So now I'm going to try the total front one, and then the back, and then it's just assembly. So this is where it gets a bit tricky, is really finding your holes on the inside. I'm quite used to finding holes because I build a lot of DIY skates. So that's why it's so easy for me, even though I'm really struggling now. Okay, let's check it, let's check it. Okay, I got my one. I suspect this one is a bit off. Oh my goodness. Okay, so two issues here. I could have either made the hole in the wrong place, or I'm just not finding it on the inside. Or it did not go all the way through. Okay, I don't think this went all the way through. No, it did, I found it. I'm breaking out of sweat, so if you guys have a sweat towel or anything like that close by, definitely have a sweat towel on your little workbench. Yes, all right, success. A little bit of perseverance and you get it. So now it's easy. All you do is you just pop your plate on. So you're just lining them up with those. It's best to kind of do it at the same time. So now the problem that I ran into is because in the bottom, it's now already in at the bottom, my top ones are slightly off. So I would suggest kind of putting them flat on the floor like this, on the floor, putting it flat on the table, and then going from the top down. So I'm going to pull it out here again, and then line it up nicely, and then it should just slide. Okay, there we go. And now for this one, because it's a bit tricky, I think the sole of the shoe is kind of giving me issues here. Just going to use this. There we go. Okay, and then push it through, push it through, push it through. Okay, that's what's not coming. There we go. All right. All right, look at that. All right, that's great. So now we can just take our little nuts, pop them back. I would actually recommend putting a few washers on before you put your nuts on. That just gives it a little bit of spacing. There are a few places that you could put washers. You could put it in between the plate and the shoe. It's all just to kind of be safe. It's just extra security to make sure that it lasts a bit longer. So this is going to be an 8mm. I'm going to get my tool, pop it on, and then it's nice and easy. Just start tightening it. So usually you can tighten it until it can't go no more. It seems that these ones, the hardware is really good because it doesn't look like you need to cut down any of the bolts or anything like that, which is usually something you need to do with some of the other plate setups and the other DIY setups, which can also be a bit of a hassle because cutting steel with a saw is not for the faint-hearted. This one's a bit easier also, my tool here, because I don't have to turn. I can just do the turny backy thing. It's probably the part that takes the longest. I just also want to double check the hardware on the inside. Yeah, so this is going to be really great. And like I told everybody before, we're going to put an extra insole there so that the hardware doesn't bother us. So you shouldn't feel it on your feet as much. Okay, so this shoe sole is also a little bit thinner than I might like. So as I said earlier, we might not need to cut off the bolts, but you can see how far they're actually coming out if I'm tightening it all the way. So I would suggest that once you put your trucks back on, you can see how deep into the wheels, or like if they actually bother the wheels or get in the way of the wheels. And then I would suggest cutting them off just to make it a bit easier. Otherwise they cut into your wheels and you'll just see a bunch of like plastic behind you as you skate away, and your your plate actually cuts into your wheels. So All right, I think that is gonna do it for now. Nice and sturdy on the inside. I don't know if you want to have a quick look. And then let me... Okay, one big thing that I just realized that's gonna make it really tough is this truck. The Kingpin comes with this little baby that's supposed to be on that side of the plate as I put it through. So this just messed up my whole system, people. I'm gonna have to take the plate off, take these ones off, and then put this little baby in there and then put the thing in. So it's gonna be a bit of a mission. Okay, definitely major thing that we just ran into, and I'm gonna see how I can fix that right now. It's gonna take a little bit of work, so give me a few minutes. Okay. All right, everybody, I'm back after a bit of a hassle, taking off the plate and putting all this stuff in the Kingpin and everything. Wow. Okay, let's try again. So now that my plate is kind of reassembled, the only issue was, I just quickly want to run you through it. The only issue was the fact that the Kingpin needs to connect to this little buddy here on the inside. So once I already put my plate onto my skate and I've tightened my nuts, I realized my Kingpin is not gonna fit. So I needed to take everything off. So that's why my desk is a little bit cleaner, because I decided to clean it up while I'm at it. So let's try again. We're putting our shoe flat onto the table so that we can put the plate on evenly, okay? So let me try again. Now I just need to squeeze, 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 a little bit of force. In my experience, force is usually the thing that gets you where you want to be with building a skate. A lot of times these nuts and these bolts don't always work the way you want them to. So then you just gotta squeeze it. Well, I'm not squeezing hard enough. Okay, so now that I have my wheels, I can just go from the top. Can I? Can I though? Okay, I think I need to bend. Ah, there we go. Okay, so my sole was actually making it go up a bit. All right, so now they're in nicely. So now I'm gonna put my little nuts on. I had to scour my toolbox for the correct tool to actually tighten these little nuts. So because they're not standard to all the other hardware that we get with some of the other things. 8mm for you North Americans or Americans. I have no idea what that would mean in your language, but you can figure it out. Google knows. Google knows all. Okay, the wheels are getting a little bit in the way. This is really frustrating for me. I don't like this because I usually like to take the wheels off. So this is definitely a con for me for this sneaker skate issue. All right, and now I'm gonna attempt to tighten them with my little tool. Oh my goodness, this is gonna take a while. Maybe for the back one. No, I cannot. All right, so I'm gonna try and tighten them as much as I can with my hand and then go from there. So because there are 6 little nuts per thing, it's gonna take a while for me to do this. Okay, next one. I'm gonna take the wheels off and see if that actually fixes the problem. Holy moly, that's tight. Ooh. Oh, yo, that was the tight one. Okay, let's try that again. All right, that should do it. Everybody, this is my 3rd time trying. So I'm happy to be sharing my first experience with the sneaker skates with you because you can see the process of it, right? So this little tool is broken. So I use my Y4 tool and one of the heads actually come off. So then I just pop the little 8mm head on top of this and now it's gonna go a little bit easier for us, all right? So let me just go in there again and now I'm gonna tighten it. So with the wheel off, it's definitely a lot easier. Here we go. Now we're working. That's it. Okay, so I took the wheels off. So this is really solving my problem of not being able to take the trucks off because of that whole Kingpin system. So this is going to be a lot easier. I kind of take my comments back about how silly this setup is because without the wheels, it's a lot easier now for me to do this. So as we can see, as we kind of go through this process, like the learning process of using a new product, we're definitely going to have to think outside of the box sometimes. So I was so set on just wanting to take the trucks off that I didn't even think about taking the wheels off and how it could actually solve this same issue. So open-mindedness is good in life, you know, and in skating products and in DIY projects and all of those things. So I'm almost finished here now. Just a few more nuts and then I'll pop my wheels back on and then we'll have the finished product. I also prefer doing one skate at a time or one shoe at a time. I usually don't like doing them together just because if I do mess up one, I can kind of fix it on the second one. So sometimes wheels come with these little washers in between. It's basically just to make sure that your wheel can pretty much, and the inside, okay. That your wheels can spin nicely and you can make them nice and tight without sacrificing any wheel spin. We have a tutorial on how to change your wheels and how to clean your wheels, so be sure to go check that out if you have any more questions about the wheels, or leave a comment below if you have a specific question that will pertain to your wheel setup. La 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 la! Awesome! All right, so this is the finished product. Let me quickly show you on the inside. So I've already showed you this hardware, but here we go. And this is how it looks with the Sneekrskate plate actually on top of it. It looks pretty good with those green wheels on there. The wheels are nice and tight. If we do a spin test, we can see that the spin test, the wheels are actually pretty great for that. And then in the next video, we might be testing out these Sneekrskate plates on, you know, either these shoes or on my personal shoes that I might want to build a nice sneaker skate for us, because you can never have too many skates. Now, as promised, I will tell you what is the best shoe to do a DIY skate with. We here at Madam Quad love a good Timberland on some nice, beautiful plates with some epic outdoor wheels. Those babies can take you wherever you want to go. The soles are nice and hard, so it's not going to be pulling through anything, and they just look super awesome. You can, of course, also do some Doc Martens, which are really, really, really cool. And then the most favorite, most popular shoe out there to make skates with are, of course, the Vans. So the one thing you want to look at when you're buying a shoe to make into DIY skates is the sole. The sole needs to be relatively flat, so that's why we mostly use skateboard shoes. All right, everybody, that's me. That's all from my side here from Madam Quad. Please comment below and subscribe to our channel. Let us know if there's any other questions that you have. Have a happy skating day.